I hope everybody is doing well. Good evening. I'm really excited about tonight. As you guys know, I am the creator of the Develop the Artist Within You program. And we like to come on here with different professionals, every week. And so this week, we have my wonderful publicity consultant who serves on my team. He serves our consultant, and his name is Jeremy. He's the consummate professional. He's going to talk to us about publicity and why it's important to developing the artist within you. It's what I love publicity because it's one of those really intangible things that need to be done, that need to be invested in order for our image to really kind of become household images. And so we're going to talk about how we can curate that strategically as an artist, and maybe even talk about how we can kind of do some case studies with certain artists and say these are certain things that they are associated with, and this is how that helps to build the public awareness of their brand, and not only public awareness of their brand, but the likability of their brand. So hi, just talking about to say hi. Oh, you got to get back to homework. See ya. All right, so let me go ahead and invite him because he is on here. I need to plug up. I'm realizing that my laptop isn't plugged up. Hey, Jeremy.
Hey.
How are you doing?
I'm good. You hear me good?
I hear you perfectly. I see you well. I hear you well. Good to see you. I'm sorry. I realized that my laptop is not even charging. So I'm putting it in the charger right now. All right, boom. We're good. So.
Well, not these filters. Get your life together. No, sir. No, ma'am. I don't go live often, apparently.
That's so funny. Okay. Somebody said hi to me. Who was that? Hold on. Hi, Mark. Good to see you. All right. E. Dawkins joined.
Yes, the vocal giant, the writer, the producer. My God. Oh.
Is it the E. Dawkins I'm thinking about?
Yeah. What? I'm honored that he follows me, and the young man just logged on to the live, so I'm elated.
I feel like Pam and Gina. I'll be singing in the background.
You are crazy.
Yeah. So that's amazing. Eric Dawkins just came through. Hey, that's amazing. So he said I'm about to.
Oh yes, I'm giving voice lessons. You can sign up. My album comes out next year. Ready for you. Yeah, she said my album's coming out next year.
Come on.
She asked if I'm doing vocal lessons. She's being silly.
I think they're talking about my smile. Thank you.
Oh yeah, you do have a great smile, young lady.
Thank you. So I wanted to talk to you about publicity. I love you because you are the most laid back person, and you are just so you're just like a giant in what you do. Like you're great at what you do. So let's talk a little bit about your area of expertise.
Alrighty. Well, I specialize in events, industry events, and facilitating experience for the artist or talent, or it could be, it could be an author, whatever the field is that they are in. There are events, there are networking opportunities to, publicize what they're doing. That's all part of publicity. You're publicizing a person, place, or thing, and bringing attention to it. I can solidify media placements and follow up and making sure that they get placed, because sometimes you'll talk to E-News and they'll never run your story just to shut you up because you're in their face. You know what I mean? Like when you're at the event. So it's just the whole rigmarole of following up. And I do all the stuff that the artist doesn't want to think about. The artists want to be creative. They want to worry about being an artist. They want to, a lot of times, a lot of artists, unfortunately, are scatterbrained, and they're just in their zone of what pertaining to being an artist. It's the very few that, like, well, Eric Dawkins is on the line. If he's still here, he knows the business. He knows production. He knows publishing. He knows all that stuff. So he's like, you know what I mean? But everybody's not like that. Some people are just really only creative and that's all they can focus on. So
and even when you know it, that doesn't mean you want to do it.
Or not want to, but I mean, some people are not cognizant of what they should be doing. But yeah, you're definitely true. Right? Like Mariah doesn't want to be. She's not out there trying to do publicity. She's like, handle it.
Yeah, y'all gonna be at my event, right?
Right. So, but she will say, "Give me the Today Show, darling." Like, you know, she'll probably have her request, but yeah, Publicist is very imperative, especially in a budding artist that is gaining notoriety and attention, and they don't know what to do with it. So you want to maximize and capture all the attention that you can with what your audience is giving at that moment. Until you and then it changes levels when you initially make it. So, well,
there's levels of making it, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the levels of the kind of publicity you need. Let's say you're somebody with like 200 followers and 90% of that is friends and family. What do you need to do to gain attention?
Well, consistency was what I see from, I'm friends with James Wright, Patty Pie guy, right? Good example.
Okay.
Before he blew up for that, he blew up for another video from Steve Harvey. He had posted him in a church hat.
Okay.
Playing, talking, crazy, doing his thing, just organically being himself. And that blew him up, you know. But before that, he was just making content. Before there was, you know, YouTube production and stuff popping, he was posting videos. He was posting content of himself singing, doing skits of just being organically funny, right? And when the time came and that video popped, he already had his stuff ready. And his audience grew substantially. And now he's up in the hundreds of thousands of followers, you know.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
On his way up to 500,000 followers. But it didn't start off like that. I remember when he had like 5,000 followers. Steve Harvey got him 25,000. Then Patty Pie, it went from 50 to 100 to 150. And then, you know, now you see him everywhere. And he does everything. He cooks. He does hair. He's multifaceted. Well, I'm just saying, you got to, listen, this LA, you got to have multiple hustles or you're going to be homeless. So you got to pay these bills because the rent is high, mortgage is high, and so is gas.
You ain't lying.
I'm looking at Bill Biden.
The food is too.
Gas is getting high, Joe.
The food is too.
Oh yeah,
everything's expensive out there.
I'm trying to go nowhere without spending $100. Like
you got to spend $100. Yeah, like it's 25. Like, all right, this is just what it is.
Yeah, we went to Salt Bay for another day. Salt Bay guy and $200 for what? You know what I mean? Like that. I'm like, what?
To be out the house.
For immediate little portions of food, I'm fat. I want to eat, but anyway, I digress. But yes, so it starts with consistency. So if you want to garner that attention, you have to be consistent, right? I'm not a social media great. I'm barely breaking 8,400 followers myself. But certain posts, I know how to get that engagement. Now, our homegirl Saucy Vocal, she gives that social media that fun. She knows how to, you know, she knows how to do it. But for myself, you know, I just would say consistency is key with social media. Using hashtags, seeing what the trends are, the popular times, because the algorithm is very unfortunate. What you say? Yeah, you be telling, and I'll be listening, young lady. But yeah, you know, you have to be consistent and you have to see what's going on. Algorithm is forever changing. Now I hear that they're changing how you share stuff. Before, if people saved your post, shared your post, that helped maximize the attention and it would put you in the matrix.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Now they're changing that. It's like they're making it harder and harder for content creators to get the notoriety.
That's funny because I remember that it was more of, hey, save this and share this, and then that's how.
Yeah,
but now,
before that, what was it? Like and comment.
Please it was like and comment. Please like and comment. Now it's please share and save.
I see people with 1 million followers and a post I have 500 likes on it. You know what I mean? And then one post is just the inconsistency. It's just some of my videos get thousands of views, and it changes every year. Like it's always at the top of the year for some reason. I'll get a video, it'll get 3,000 views, and then the algorithm changes in the spring, and I'm like, and I said forget it at this point. I just post what I like, and hey, if y'all rock with it, you rock with it, because I can't keep up, and I'm not an influencer anyway. So there's that. I mean, get into the skin. That's about it. That's all I can give you is a skin routine and how to go to work and pay your bills every day.
I love. Well, some people need that. Okay, so in the very beginning, let's not talk about social media. Let's talk about your world, the offline world. What are certain things that are there things that a newbie artist should be doing offline? You know what I'm saying? Even to create content for online.
Preparation, just for visibility purposes, to make sure that you're ready. Do you know what an EPK is? Do you know what a one sheet is? Do you have a website? Linktree. How do people access your music? Are your social media handlers, are they all consistent? And do they make sense? Are they cohesive with your brand? So it's all those things. Like you've done an amazing job with your social media, with your website, with all of your correspondence, with your emails, all of your pictures. You've done photo shoots, and you have stuff you can use for years to come, and you updated me. You know, some people don't know to do that. Photo shoots are imperative. Current images, those things are imperative until you get on the red carpet and you can use those wire image photos, you know, to be cool and stuff like that. You have your photo shoots. You get your pictures done, and you get with a graphic artist, and you make a one sheet, and you tell people just in a snapshot who you are, what you are, how can they access you, what you do, what do you present to the table that you come to eat. You're giving yourself, and that's an easy snapshot away for them to do that. There's events and things you can't get into if you don't have an EPK and a professional headshot. You know, like if I'm submitting for the BT Awards for Red Carpet, I can't finish the submission process if you don't have an EPK. Is just that link. It has all your information in it, your website, and it's like a link tree, just all in one link. So it has everything that you need to your bio, all current updated information, and you can update it as you go. It's an investment in itself. That's very important for the upcoming artist. Now, some people, they may not have any content, they may not have anything at the moment, you know, but just make your own hashtag and post with that, so people when they click that, they can always find you.
Yep.
And make sure find your light, find your angles, take good pictures, and make stuff look good. And be consistent. Consistency is my favorite word. Be consistent. Is it consistent and cohesive? Does it go together?
Right.
Does it look like it's matched?
Right.
So come through hashtag.
So what does a person do once they've gotten some notoriety? Let's say they're at 10 to 16 or 20,000 followers. Like, what is the next step?
Networking. So you want to network. Now you want to link with other.
Start collaborating.
Yeah, and you should be posting yourself and your music, what you present to the table. You know, you just live singing things. You do it all the time. Like, you're a great blueprint. I know you don't like being put on the spot, but you give thought-provoking questions, and you cultivating that interaction organically. You're not paying for ads. Hey, I wanna talk about that. That's interesting. You're corresponding with your audience and making them engage is thought-provoking. I love answering your questions when you have your little questions, you know, up on your story. Stuff like that is fun, and it can be organic and strategic at the same time. So those things are important. But linking up with other followers, other musicians, artists, trying to get into the music scene, right? You were a singer, but you're not down at the singer shed or wherever the events are, you know, the smaller scale events that you just need to RSVP to get into. And then from there, let's say you're garnering that attention and people are liking you. Now we can present you. You can get a publicist, and we can submit for you to be at events. Are you a part of any writing associations? Like, publish BMI or what's the other? ASCAP. They have events all through the year for all different sectors of music, all genres. And those are great associations to be a part of. In the publicity community, they have the Black Publicist. They have Hollywood calendar. It's things that you invest in so that you can get access to see what's going on. So,
jeez Louise,
it's an investment in yourself, and it's it doesn't cost a lot of money. I think the Black Publicist Association that's not a lot of money. You know what I mean? Like, just have access to those things. So ASCAP, that is not my expertise, but I just know people when I have access ASCAP clients or BMI clients. We're able to go to events. They get nominated for awards for songs and things that they've done. I work a lot with musicians who get nominated for Grammys and stuff like that. And it's not always sometimes the bigger artists. It's the musicians themselves because they play with Beyonce and Jay-Z and they write and they play on the records. And that gets them in the doors that they need to be in. So those associations look and do the research to see what fits with your genre of music and how can it benefit you in a different way. You get somebody like me who knows a little bit more than probably you would right off the bat, and I can help guide you to where you need to go so that you can really have that foot up on the game before it hits you. Because what if when you blow up and you don't have anything, you miss opportunities all the time. I see that all the time. People, they weren't ready. I've had opportunities where I wasn't ready. Actually, I missed out on the Janet Jackson tour because I wasn't ready to step away from my job. I won't say the gentleman's name, but I worked with somebody. They put me on for an event. They loved my work, and they were like, Give me your resume right now. I'm ready. I would love to have you on the team. I'm like, huh? I wasn't ready. And I was like, oh my God, I got in my own head and I could have messed up on a major opportunity. I still know the people, but things happen. Things happen. We all make mistakes. Sometimes that's why I say, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Because that caught me off guard. I'm like, I work this job. I can't leave this job. Like I'm all in my head. I'm not seeing what chances, opportunities. I could have took a leap and did something great, but I missed out. So it happens.
I'm speechless.
But you know how in the industry how it is. I mean, when you have a real life, you have kids, you have family, and it's like you have responsibilities, and then this opportunity comes, and it's like, do you take the risk and go forward? And then what if it don't work out? You know what I mean? Like. So that's
well, yeah, but I mean, don't want to call names or anything like that, but I feel like a name like Janet Jackson, you would think that working with somebody like her would be the step to kind of secure your future in a way.
Well, for me, because I've just seen so many things.
Of course, nothing is guaranteed.
People, yeah, and gig workers, it's once that's done, the tour's over. Then what do you do?
Yeah. There's
not always guaranteed. There's not surety in some things. With touring, for me, at 35, I don't see you know what I mean? Like certain things, it may not be as appealing as it sounds. And then sometimes I used to work at Oprah Winfrey Network. I didn't make no money there. I just was in the lobby. I didn't make no money at Oprah Winfrey Network. I saw every celebrity that you could think of, John Cusack.
What were you doing?
Reception, security, mail person. I was everything. Not getting paid nothing. Nothing. You know what I mean? So it's like sometimes those Key knows, my friend Kiana Ephraim is there. She knows the business is glamorous. You could be adjacent to it and go home and sleep in your car. Because you don't have a real home. Like people do that. And I know people who, have Mercedes and things like that, and they didn't have a nice place to live in. They just had the car, they had the look, and then they went somewhere and it didn't look like where they just came from. So I don't want to live like that for myself in these Los Angeles streets.
Well, to be honest, I completely get it. That's why, the vocal teaching and all that is what pays the bills. Like, I could try to go be somebody's BGV or music director, but you're right. When the gig is over, then what? What am I going to do? Just literally pick up for 2 or 3 months and then what? Drop all my clients, and what about my kids? Like, it sounds yeah.
Time is expensive. I don't know.
And traveling is expensive, because I've even traveled as a vocal teacher and I got paid a lot of money for it. But I remember we were in Portugal and I felt like I don't know how, but I felt like I was spending $100 a day on food. Everything was just so expensive. The food was like, I was in a 5-star hotel. So, and I was pregnant, so it's not like I could just go somewhere, and I didn't know who to call. I'm in a different it's a different language. Everyone speaks Portuguese. So I was just ordering room service. I was literally spending $100 a day just to eat. So traveling has its own, like you said, the idea of it is cool, but you really got to count up the cost and see, from an aerial view, is this something that can really work for you?
Yeah.
Because it's expensive. It might sound good, or you're going to get paid X amount per day. But I mean, that sounds good because you're sitting at home. Once you get out there in them streets and you're not cooking your own food, and you got to pay for this, you got to pay for that, you got to pay for every little part of your life, it's not as appealing. You got to count the cost.
And the smart people, like, I know professional background singers, and they learn how to budget. They know how to save that per diem and not spend it all up. And some people are blessed. I have so many, like, and especially from the church community, there's so many professional working people who became artists on their own. Like, you look at Kenyon Dixon, he started in church, right?
Yeah.
And then you started seeing him budding as an artist and singing on the bigger gospel opportunities and things like that for shows. And then, boom, he's singing with major artists. Then he's on tour with Justin Timberlake and Joe Jonas. And then he becomes this great artist himself. And then his baby mama becomes a great artist. So, Alex Isley.
Wow.
Stuff like that. That it doesn't happen like that for everybody. It looks so like I wish I could sing real good. I wish that just seems like such a glorious life. But when you think about it, like, I don't know if you know TJ Scruggs.
That name is super familiar.
TJ Scruggs, Tony Scruggs is a phenomenal singer.
Yes, now you say Tony, yeah.
Brandon Wimbush, all of that people, they're professional background singers, and they do scores and for films and stuff like that. That's a hard life. You really have to be dedicated to the craft to get that consistent work. And I would just hear about, she would be candid about certain things that would be happening with the career and how you got a budget and you be gone for so long. It's like a lot of them don't have cars, or because they're always gone. So what's the point of having a car, paying your car note if you're always gone? If you're gone and then you partner all that with COVID. So being an artist is hard. So you really have to make the investment. I was listening to Rotimi, and the first track on his album, he has a song with Stacey. How do you say Stacey Bertha? Stacey Barnes. You know what I'm talking about, right? She's a writer. No. She was on Brandy's writing team. She always has a bald head.
Okay, no, I don't know who that is.
Okay, well, she's a great writer, and in the album, he was talking about that. He basically detailed he didn't have nothing. He came to LA and stayed in a motel for months with nothing and then he got the call for power. He was taking a risk. She was trying to sing, but they told him, hey, acting is the way to go. Maybe you should try that out. And he did, and it popped, and he was able to do this music because he got on for the acting.
Wow.
So the industry, it's hard. It's hard out here in the entertainment streets. I mean, it seems cool and stuff. You go to these events, because I don't even know how I was doing that stuff. I would go to work. I wake up in the morning. I wake up at 5 in the morning for work. I'm off at 5. I'm at work at 7. I'm off at 5. I would be in Beverly Hills at the Screen Actors Guild for an event, and then I'd be at the Writers Guild for a screening, red carpet with a client, and then don't let it be BT or Grammy Week or SBs, and it's all the events surrounding the major event. And people want to be in it. You want to be seen there because maybe you don't have a client, but you want to network and talk to people and see. And from there, you might get a job, and they had an extra credential, and now you're able to work, and that's an extra $1,500 in your pocket. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot. it's a sacrifice.
My Lord.
It's a hustle. It's a hustle. It's a hustle. I don't know how the people, I know people who, from Stars, Publicity, to actual, like the premium cable channel Stars.
Yeah.
Anthony McLaughlin, that's my homeboy. We all intern at BT together under Sabrina Horton. He knows what that is. And Key actually put me on for my first event. I always give her a shout out when she's on, because she put me on for production for Celebration of Gospel. Well, Whitney Houston was there. She was a surprise artist. That was such a fun. That was a funny. I was with Mary. It was a whole thing. I was starstruck. I was like, oh my God, Angela Bassett. Oh my God, Whitney Houston. But anyway, yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
LA is such a cool place, but man, like you said, it's scary.
Well, I mean, because you're not too far away from Atlanta. That's like the Black Hollywood. So you got all those production companies. Everybody's filming all those reality shows. Everything we watch is birthed out of Atlanta. Because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
It's either Canada or Atlanta for a lot of the people, especially because of our current governor in California. They made it not easy. If you don't have that money, they made it not easy to do your filming projects in Los Angeles. It's very expensive. So
somebody said Tasha Page Lockhart said she was homeless, living in a hotel when she was on Sunday Best, and nobody knew.
Wait, Tasha Page Lockhart is in this live?
No. A person is saying that Tasha Page Lockhart said.
I was like, come on, oh yeah, you're right, Key. Those southern states, they do pick those like obscure southern places. But yeah,
I know Texas is going to be the next big thing where people are moving because it's cheaper than California, like Austin or something like that.
Yes, I'm not in that realm, but Key would know about that actually, because her aunt is Judge Maybelline.
Oh, so, wow, that's cool. I love her.
She said we ain't kicking it. Judge Maybelline is iconic for me. She is hilarious.
She's the best.
She really is she's very intentional, and Judge Maybelline is amazing.
Yeah, man. It's, I appreciate, you being so candid about, being in the industry. Like, I feel like that's something people need to understand. You got to take, it's always a risk, but you got to make a really calculated risk. Yeah. So it's like, if you believe in yourself, you have to I just feel like you got to calculate your risks. Like, you can't just not count up the cost of what it is that you're trying to do. And when you count up the cost early on, like you were saying, these professional singers, they understand what it takes to keep a roof over their head. And that is, okay, I got to, like you said, stay dedicated to the craft, be versatile so that I can be open to other genres. If they're doing scores, that means they probably read sheet music. You know what I'm saying? So they have access to those kinds of jobs. Like, they probably, don't go out much if they're not singing, because they need, their voice is their moneymaker. So they can't be ha-ha-ha-ing and doing all kind of crazy stuff. Huh?
Look at the Kanye, the Sunday Service Collective.
Yeah.
That's all about, if you're an LA church person and you're in the music scene, you know about 20 to 50 people automatically in that choir. And when it's time to go, they're gone.
Yeah.
They have to have people who handle their business at home. It's not, this artist life is not easy. It's a lot of sacrifice.
Yeah, no, I tried out for, the funny thing is, it was like, oh, an R&B singer needs background vocals. And when I got there, I realized it was Chrisette Michele. And so I got the call back. And then, but the weird thing was, it was like, oh, you need to be available immediately because she's going on tour next week.
That kind of stuff, yeah.
That's crazy to me. It's just like, oh, so you just need somebody that doesn't have a day job, which was kind of crazy, because the auditions, I feel like, okay, because I heard about Kanye's auditions, and I remember they were at like 12 o'clock on a Friday. And I felt like, okay, so you're pretty much establishing at this point you're letting us know that a person would need to be available at this time on a weekday in order to even, in order to even be present, you're kind of establishing a precedence at that point. So I felt like with not Chrisette Michele. What's her name? Not Chrisette Michele. It's Kim. Oh gosh. If I describe her, I'm gonna feel bad about describing her. She's from Memphis. Huh?
Oh, I'm listening. I'm like, what kind of music is it?
It's R&B. I see her face in my head. Chris, is it Chris or Kim? Oh my God, I can't believe I can't remember her name. Y'all help me out. She's had a lot of work done. She's had a lot of work done on her body, and then she took all of the stuff out.
Oh,
K Michelle. Thank you. Because I'm like, Kim? Where's this name coming from? So it was K Michelle. But I felt like, you know, her doing the auditions at like 9 o'clock at night, I think people felt like, okay, I can go to work, get off work, come to this thing. And then when people realize, oh, you want to like leave town next week, a lot of people left like really sad, like, okay, well, I can't just quit my job to go travel with her. But with Kanye doing it 12 o'clock in the afternoon, that's setting the precedence that you probably don't have a day job if you're even able. You can't have a day job. You cannot have a day job.
You have to be gigging and doing something for yourself. I knew one girl, Nava Morris. She's married to a musician, Chevin Morris. She sang with Kanye for a moment, and I remember her making the decision in public, going public with it, saying, I'm just going to be an artist, and I'm going to do what I have to do. So she was doing boutique clothes. She was hustling. She was making it work. She was doing little modeling gigs, trying to do commercials and stuff like that, because she's beautiful, and she's a professional dancer. So she was doing choreography. Like, you have to hustle.
It's a hustle.
And I don't want all this stuff to sound so big for people who are trying to establish themselves. So we go back to the root of it. You have to invest in yourself. Nobody knows your music and your craft better than you, right?
Right.
So you look and see, who are these people that I feel like I assimilate with, that I'm affiliated with, that my sound is like. Look at where their career came from. Was it prior to social media, or was it birthed during the, you know, conception of it all, or in now the TikTok?
Yeah.
Because people are becoming artists from TikTok, which is crazy, and I'm not judging anybody, but it's just like,
this is what it is.
The skill set, the talent, the artist development, all this stuff is way different. Like my homeboy Cornelia Austin was talking about today on his story on Instagram. People are actually doing album rollouts again. We haven't seen that in a while because people just been like
dropping them. Surprise!
It was like, what? Because, you know, Beyonce ruined everybody's life because she did that drop, and it made the industry upset. They tried to punish her. You remember that whole thing? Target wouldn't carry her album, so she went to Walmart and I think spent some millions giving out gift cards to people. She was like, oh, you won't carry my music, and it was wildly successful, that Beyonce album. That's where
I didn't know that. I didn't know the industry was upset with her because she didn't spend all that money promoting it through them.
She dropped it digitally before the album was even readily available. It took, I think, a few more weeks before the album was even printed.
Mm-hmm.
And it ruined a lot of music people's careers for what they feel like they have to do because it's like, do I waste money for a rollout, or do I just drop my music and you rock with it? Before there was an anticipation. And yeah, I'm a pop culture person, so
I love it.
So a little fun facts, I just remember that kind of stuff, and it really that's where all that random dropping album when Drake would drop. I remember he dropped If You're Reading This, then you know the album with the writing on it. If You're Reading This, then You're Something. They were making music about it at the time. It was like 2016 or something like that. That's when he was feuding with Meek Mills.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's where that came from. That's just random dropping albums. It wasn't just by happenstance.
Yeah, I'm actually doing a rollout. I'm dropping a single, and I'm actually doing like a real rollout for the first time ever, actually, because I was the one I would just post a couple times like, hey guys, it's coming. But I'm doing a real rollout, so I'm really excited about that. I want to see the difference it will make. It's a calculated risk. I only really risk for my business because it's proven itself to me. But risking as an artist is just different.
Yeah. And then, I mean, for you, you don't have to separate the two. It's your brand. This is who you are. This is what we know you as. You're going to give us proper singing and singer's etiquette and what we should do to be great, as singers. And actually, my wife is going to sign up for your classes after the baby.
What?
Yeah. Because her voice is changed and she just wants to get more. Since she's been pregnant, some people that register, it goes up and they sing beautifully, and then it changes. Like her register, she feels like she is dropping. Or her stomach actually is dropping too. The baby is like getting ready. We entering that 9-month time, but yeah, she's singing on the lower register. She just wants to expand and breathe and work those dynamics. So we'll be hitting you up.
Oh my God. Thank you. Listen, I had 3 kids, so I thought my voice was ruined. I just thought, oh my God, what have I done after having the first 2? So I completely understand. I completely understand where she is. Her voice isn't dropping. It's just, maybe there's some hormonal things going on because she's pregnant, but she'll be fine. She gotta get all of that pregnancy hormones out of her and get her support back. She'll be good. Somebody asked me, where do I live? I live in Atlanta. I do dream about living in LA, though. It's beautiful.
And I wish I had a house in Georgia.
I know. It's easy to dream about it because I don't have to pay bills there, right? You always dream about being somewhere where your bills ain't. But once you have bills there, then it's like, I need to go somewhere else.
But I'm an LA kid. I ain't really leaving. I'll probably get a condo somewhere else, but I'm going to always be in LA. Always been in LA.
Oh, that's awesome.
I will say with the vocal thing, Beyonce, because I'm in the beehive. I'm not gonna lie. That lower register that she has developed. Oh my God, the thing that she was doing on the Carter's album, with that low register and those yummy runs, because it was like a snack. I was like, I was just eating them up.
You're so funny.
So good. It was so good.
Somebody said LA is very easy to make money in, though. It is. I understand if I were to go there, I would have more opportunities to make money, like faster. You know what I'm saying? I don't really know.
Your whole life.
Huh?
You have the kids, school, and all that stuff. You have to pick up your whole life.
Exactly. But exactly. It's like, okay, I have all these opportunities, but I still have 3 children by myself. So, and there's still only 24 hours in a day. So when hustling goes wrong, I feel like California, I will hustle myself dead because I wouldn't want to say no.
Don't die.
Right. No, but I just feel like LA is a place you go when you really have the time and the mental energy to commit to that kind of life. For what I'm trying to do, for what would come to me, like the movie soundtracks, the clients, the record labels, all of that stuff. So what happens? So when a person hits, let's say a person like me, we can use me as a case study. Do you feel like I would need a publicist now to get to the next levels, the next level media outside of social media? Oh, you froze too. Am I back?
We're back.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Cool.
What you said something else I wanted to address, but it's gone. So I'll just ask, what do you feel like a person that has gotten the publicity, like somebody like me, it's like 40-something thousand on YouTube, 10,000 on Instagram, 5,000 on Facebook, whatever, like these random few thousand people. Hate to say random, but you know what I mean? Like kind of,
no, I get you.
They're here, there, and everywhere.
I don't know half of my followers.
So what's the next, what is the next step? Hiring a publicist to get out into, and like you're saying, being part of associations and all of that stuff, right?
Because they get your foot in the door, you literally pay to be there. You have a right to be there. And they want you to. That's the cool thing about these associations and these organizations. They want you to, because that's more money for them. You know what I mean? Like, you guys, they do events. They throw things for you guys to intermingle and make some money so they can make some money. But yeah, a publicist would be great. If let's say you move to LA tomorrow, because events have not stopped because of COVID. I have taken a back seat because I already had COVID, and especially now with my wife being pregnant for most of the pandemic. I mean, well, the latter part. I just wanted to play it safe.
Yeah.
I was playing it safe when I got COVID. So that's a whole nother, that's a wrench. But let's pretend like COVID is not here, like some other people who do that don't wear masks and things like that. Well, I won't do that on your live. But oh my God, the events, because I'm plugged in. So that's the access that you get with a publicist. A publicist that's working in the industry actively gets invites and has resources that you're paying, just like you're paying to be a part of the organization, whatever organization is, and it gets you access. A publicist will get you access to those events that you're not.
So then it matters what kind of what publicist you get. The actual publicist matters. Like you can't just get a publicist because they might not have the network to plug
some
in.
people are just good at the paperwork and they're good at the back end, but they don't work the event. I have the gift of gab. That's what I know how to talk. I got in trouble for talking all my life, but it worked for me. I talked my way into doors that I didn't deserve to be in.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I wasn't, everybody who interned at BT, they had a degree. I didn't, but I was able to work and do stuff. And now, I didn't decide to go full-fledged, and I wasn't a kid, so I couldn't do what they did. And now looking at all of them now, they're doing great. Entertainment Tonight.
What do you mean you couldn't do what they did?
Well, I just couldn't. I had to pay my bills.
You're saying you're saying you're a little bit older.
I'm in my 20s and I'm a little bit older, so I had different responsibilities and stuff like that. So I couldn't. And I made the decision just because.
So you would have wanted to be like a TV anchor. You would have wanted to be like a host.
Oh no. I think I'd have to be on something unscripted. I'd have to be on something where I could just be myself and go from there, because people always say, "Oh, you're funny," but I'm like, is being naturally funny versus scripted or following the structure is a whole different thing, and I don't want to fall flat on my face. That's not who I am. But forget that. It's a real publicist garners that attention that you need and the access that you want to get to. You're paying somebody to do something you can't. And that's another thing for the people coming up. You can't. Why would you pay somebody to do something you could do for yourself?
Yes.
If you're paying me to be your publicist and you don't have anything, so you it's like there's an unrealistic idea that people have, like, oh, well, a publicist will save my life. A publicist is a booking agent. A publicist is a manager, and that's not the role. Look up the definition of what a publicist is. Literally just somebody who is taking care of your publicity needs, publicizing what material that you have, and utilizing industry tools and connections to get you in the doors that you don't deserve sometimes to be in, but you should be.
So somebody was asking me if I'm gonna do like a live album or something like that.
$10,000 right there. Go ahead.
First of all,
that's $10,000 off top.
First of all,
recording materials and packaging. Okay.
My Lord. First of all, no, I did not think about it, but I was thinking of actually just doing a live concert. Like, I feel like that might be the next best step. So what would a publicist do if a person is doing stuff like that? You're not a marketer. You're not a marketer.
That's another thing. Publicists, some people are into marketing.
Some publicists do marketing, but you're saying your discipline is literally, I'm getting you into the events and networking.
I specialize in events and doing the media placements, pitching, and just using connections that I have garnered over the years and relationships for people who are deserving. I have people at Time Magazine and People Magazine, and that's not shaping you. You're not ready for that level yet. So me pitching you, if they were doing a developmental artist story or they're doing something about vocal, and I was like, oh man, this would be a great opportunity for Delisa, then that would make sense. But people think, oh, I need to go talk to Fox right now. I need to get to whatever local news channel, and I need to be running story, and that's not how it works.
Yeah.
That's not realistic. Sometimes people have an unrealistic expectation of the publicist and what the publicist should provide, and it's not fair. And then it looks like, oh, you let me down. Really, that's why I'm like, I'm upfront, because I can take a lot of people's money. People are just throwing it at me sometimes, and they're ready, and they got the following, and they're grinding on their own, but they have expectations that are not realistic.
So do you pitch for I know you said events a million times, but I'm going to ask anyway. Do you pitch for TV? Do you pitch for podcasts, radio interviews?
Yeah, I mean,
so that falls under the umbrella of a publicist, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So if you have an album coming out and your name has made some kind of impact, and people know those things are easier to do when you're still developing and getting there, then we work with I'm giving the free tips away, but looking at what are your local radio stations, what goes with your style of music, what is your local news station, do they cater to urban artists? Are you urban? Do they cater to country? What are you, who are you, and why would they want to talk to you? So you have to always think, like, why would they want to talk to me? What? And it's a hard question to ask yourself sometimes, because you're telling yourself, I'm amazing, I'm dope, but you get your feelings hurt. Like when first.
So what makes an artist newsworthy?
What makes an artist newsworthy? Not necessarily newsworthy, but just for a segment or something like that. You just want to get in the door, but people want to know who you are. It's weird. It's like a weird line.
It's like what comes first, the chicken or the egg? I'm trying to get known, but you're telling me I need to already be known.
Yeah. So it sucks. It's like, because now when you go to record labels, they're like, well, how many followers do you have? You might be really amazing, but how many followers do you have?
Yeah.
What is your engagement like on YouTube? You have a SoundCloud? Yeah, I have a client currently, and they signed with a nice record label, and they have a signing deal and stuff coming up, and they're like, they didn't have TikTok and stuff because that wasn't their brand, but now I had to start one for them and start a SoundCloud for them, and I have to develop that stuff, and do that and just make it presented, because that's what the record label wants. But they want people to be ready. They want you to be ready to go.
Yeah.
So that's why they go to the viral sensations, because they're already ready. You have the following. All we have to do is drop the money. But now they don't have any artist development, and they're saying crazy stuff and getting canceled.
So somebody said, I think this is a question. Do you feel like the NFT blockchain model for artists will disrupt the record label monopoly and traditional path to success? I was hoping you would understand that question.
I don't know if I am properly equipped to answer that question. That was a well thought out. Like, you've been sitting on that waiting, or did you just get that out the dictionary? That's a serious question. That's beyond my scope of reach as a publicist that specializes in events. I'd have to read that again.
That's hilarious.
I'm on my phone.
Yeah, I read it a couple times too, and I was like, this is not on the phone, because I'm also I'm using StreamYard to stream to YouTube and Facebook group, my YouTube and Facebook group as well.
Yes.
So,
fancy.
Huh?
It's that fancy.
Oh, stop it. So. Yeah. Do you feel like the NFT blockchain model? We would have to know what that is first. This will disrupt the record label monopoly and traditional path.
What? Is NFT? Those are the images, right? Those the digital images that they're doing it now. So they're selling. I think the NFT, that's the very first tweet. Somebody bought that for some millions of dollars, and people are now, they're copywriting their image and stuff like that. So it's changing the industry, and I fully don't understand the significance of it. But
okay, because when my friend was telling me about NFT, and it has something to do with art, and you can sell your art online. It's just digital. Yeah.
Ja Rule purchased, I think, his social media post or something like that about the Fire Festival that was a flop, but it went viral. So anytime you mention, post, talk about, you've got to run, bro, his money. So I think that is we're more aware now than we've ever been. So they owning their own likeness. They're owning their 360 deals are being done away with. So the artist has more of a foot in the game and more of a stake in their development and how they're getting paid that money. They're not just, I think I heard, what was the rapper? 21 Savage. He was saying he makes more money off of his music sales and streams because he did a 70-30 deal. So he gets 70% of what's purchased. He said he makes more money from music than makes more money from his music than touring.
Wow.
Because he hasn't been on tour in a while, he said, because it don't make sense for him. But he's able to function solely off of streams because he owns more stake in the claim. It's not,
How in the world did he get that?
People are getting these crazy deals these days, and they'll be done with the record label and do independent and pop. Some of these gospel artists are cleaning up right now because they left the record labels alone, went independent, and everything they own, all the intellectual property, is theirs. Everything they wrote, they produced, everything is theirs. So the industry is evolving continuously. It's like you have to take a class to stay on top of it. And because I'm not a music exec, that's not my thing. I don't sign people. I'm not a manager. I'm just privy to some things because I see things that transpire. I have friends and there's conversations that are being had about business. It's very interesting, but I don't know enough on the NFT stuff. That's not my thing. But I just read the news like everybody else and see these crazy, like Andy Warhol had a floppy disk and it had art on it. He did art remember on the old Windows and Macs, you could do the painting. He was doing art on
I can't remember what what was it called? Clarisworks?
Yeah.
Wow.
And they were on floppy disk and they got it off and people were buying the NFTs of that. Millions of dollars. Just imagine if there was a hidden Basquiat, something like that. How much that would go for? Like, it's crazy. The digital game is taking over. I don't fully understand it. I'm still trying to understand. I'm like, what happened to Dogecoin? I don't hear nobody talking about that anymore. Everything is changing.
I did Dogecoin for 2 weeks, and I did Dogecoin for 2 weeks, and I made like $200. I was like, I don't know what this thing is, but let me put my money out because I didn't even know what it was. I saw my friend randomly talk about Dogecoin. I was like, what's that? I put some money in there and I made $200. I was like, all right, I'm out. I don't know what that was, but thank you.
I don't blame you because people hear that stayed in certain things, they lost a lot of money. So people, I have coworkers
because they was making a lot of money. This one girl, she was like, "Oh, thank you, Dogecoin, for paying for my wedding and paying." I was like, "What? Let me put a couple $100 in here and see what happens."
But see, that's that pumping up stuff. That's what they.
But by the time she posted that, I think it was right before it burst.
So she got in at a good time. So.
Yeah, I got in right before it burst. I was like, all right, let me go and pull out. This is great. Somebody said, yeah, I just read the news like everybody else. We don't read the news clearly because you know things we don't know. But this is great. Huh?
Are you talking about the person that asked that question? They said that?
No, somebody's laughing at you, Kenrick Miller, because you said it's on Instagram. It says I just like you said I just read the news like everyone else.
I do. I do have some industry insight. I have conversations and stuff like that. I have a lot of artists who follow and correspond and like me, and they keep in communication because they like my fun personality, or we work together, or there's
This
so I know
super
things
cool.
like that. But I really do just follow the news. I'm a news junkie, so
that's awesome.
Also keeps me abreast of what's going on because I need to know what's going on because the world seems like it's just going to hell in the handbasket. So I'm like, well, let me know. Is Jesus coming back? I need to be ready. Like,
okay, do I need to keep paying
these
bills?
What's happening in Israel? What's happening in Afghanistan?
What
what's
do
happening in African countries and China?
Yeah, like what do I really need to focus on right now? Because if Jesus is coming back, I might need to just hold on to my coins and do something else. Let me go to Hawaii real quick.
I don't blame you.
Well, this was super informative. I don't want to hold you any longer. This was so informative, and I started this thing off by saying, Jeremy you are the most unassuming person, and yet you just have such a wealth of knowledge. You're such I said it in before, and I don't feel like I didn't want to overstate, but I really feel like you kind of have a giantness about you. You know what I'm saying? In your role and how you help people and just how you kind of function um, as a publicist. And the funny thing is, when I asked you to join the Develop the Artist Within You program, I had a slight idea of what you do, but you don't really put it out there. So I'm not really sure how I knew. I must have seen something here, there, and everywhere, like, oh, this person's a publicist and he's associated with this person and that person. But I really didn't even know the breadth of what you've done until I actually spoke to you. And I was like, whoa. So I'm saying all of that to say I am very honored to have you on my team because you bring.
We've never met. We've never met in real life, you guys.
We've never met.
But you know, the power of social media and talking to people and networking and partnering.
Yeah, and I noticed you always liked my stuff, so I was like, this person likes my stuff.
It's good, and I'm that social media person. I like everything. I mean, not everything. Some people, you know, I want you to think I'm supporting your foolishness, or if you're naked or something, I can't put a like on that. That's weird. But if it's good and it's safe and it won't get me beat up by a pregnant woman, I'm going to support it. And I post, I repost, I give, you know, free eyes. You know, I have a couple hundred people who watch my stories. I'm not famous or anything. It fluctuates if I'm at an event or something. But for the most part, I just like to share. I like to share, especially because this is no offense to anybody who may be watching who's not a person of color or African American, but I go hard for Black women. I go hard for Black men. I share our content that is us. I like to share it. I don't share a whole bunch of negative, crazy stuff. I like to just, you know, just is a beautiful Black woman or a beautiful couple or beautiful Black children, just stuff we need to see more of. Because even I'm 35, I still don't see just enough. I don't see enough of the positive. I always see the fights, and people always reposting World Star, and those are great for those outlets. But I'm glad like Shade Room does a balance of the mess, and they give you some Jesus, and they give you some businesses, and they just give you this wholesome goodness. I like that stuff. So I don't want to perpetuate a negative connotation that's attached to our skin color. You know what I mean? So I'm all for it. Black business, I'm here for it and support it. So I'm just glad to be a part of the team, and it's growing, and people are evolving as artists in the program that you've developed, and you have an awesome team of industry professionals, and I'm just glad to be a part of that and making a difference in people's developmental careers of becoming an artist and reaching those goals and exceeding them. So
that's awesome. So before we go, I just want y'all to know I am doing the Develop the Artist Within You conference November 6th. So if you guys would like to be a part of it, you can go to my website. You can put a deposit down, find out more about it. I just got another professional on board. I'm so excited. I'm going to be collaborating. Speaking of collaborations, that's what I was going to say. I've done this business by myself for so long. And just in the last year, I feel like I'm finally doing the collaborations that I should have been doing 10 years ago. But, you know, all in God's time. And Isa, I can't remember her last name, but Isa, she's a Chicago BGB, an artist, and she has a company called Team BGB. They have a Facebook page called Team BGB that has 7,000 members. She has her own booking agency for background vocalists and all of that. I'm excited because she has also agreed to be on board and be a panelist. Yeah. Yes. I can't remember. It's ISA. It's Isa. I wish I could remember her last name.
Is her name Isa?
Huh?
Her Instagram, her name Isa?
Yeah, Isa.
Oh, that's the. I don't know her, but I'm a fan, and she follows me. I just reposted her today. She's amazing. I love her. She has the most humble, like, approach. She's very just cool. You know, she's not artisty. Like, some people just really not touchable, but the way you describe me, that's what she is to me. Like, I don't know her, never met her, but we've just exchanged just kind words via DM, and I show love and post her stuff because she's a great artist. Her placement is amazing. She's super dope.
Her voice is amazing.
Yeah, she's dope.
Her voice is amazing. So, we're talking about doing a lot of collaborations within the next few months. So I will be helping out Team BGV with some master classes, and she will be helping out, Delisa's Vocal Academy, and coming in and talking about managing being a BGV, being an artist, and how to kind of live in both of those worlds. Because I do artist development, she does BGV development, but we're both, you know what I'm saying? So really cool. What is her at? I wish I remembered her at, because I can only remember her first name.
Is at her name, and then I think it's
her name is Isa or something like that. Her name Isa or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It'll pop right up if you write her name IS, and it should pop up.
Yeah, her name is ISA. That's it. Somebody put it. Yes, her name is Isa. That's it.
Super dope, and she has great music out too.
Yeah, she's amazing. Like every time you watch her, you're like, how? Okay. Some people just, there's so many amazing singers out here. She's definitely one of them.
I mean, out there and out here, you get spoiled because you just think it's like that everywhere, and it's not. Like, on a Taco Tuesday, you can get to Stevie Mackey's house, and it's a mic toss. That's just, it's Keisha Renee, and there's all these people, and Candace Wakesworth. These are people that I know, that I love. But they've done great things, and they're amazing, and it's all kinds of executives there, and these are the kind of things you want to get to and go to when you're trying to get up in the game. Because some people, and there's no shade, I'm like, how did you get there? Because you don't even sing on key. How did you make it?
They showed up. They kept showing up.
But they showed up. They kept showing up. They kept showing up. They got to the right person, and they looked together. They had their EPK. They had their bios and stuff ready to go. They had their music mixed and mastered properly, so it sounded good, even though they may not be able to deliver that live
in person.
Right? You get your performance track. I could be an artist. Let me get down and get some abs. I go out there, I get out there and do it in a minute.
You want to sing so bad. I can feel it.
I do. If I could just sing for a check, you could tell me nothing. I'll be out there.
If I could just sing for a check.
She'd be so mad. She's like, can you shut up? No. And another run. Let's try to do Karen. Echoes.
You said TV Amy, you are a giver. I am. I definitely am. I want to give value. I can't be coming around people and just not give value. That's weird to me. If you look at the majority of my YouTube videos, I don't even have a call to action. I wasn't thinking nothing about that. I just wanted to give good information. I had to be told, you're supposed to tell them, like, subscribe, share, and something.
I was gonna tell you, gotta tag me in the post.
I still struggle with a call to action.
You just repost it, I'll just have just innocently, I shared it.
It's like I feel bad. I still feel bad asking people to do anything for me because I'm just so used to just, doing it, putting it out there, and letting the Lord do the rest.
Yes, but that stuff, that's for y'all listening. That stuff is imperative. I've garnered some friendships with some industry people just because I shared the content and tagged them, and they were just so appreciative. So you never know what a tag can do. I know it can be annoying sometimes when people get a tag by 1 million people and they already have 5 million followers, but they appreciate it.
Of course.
They appreciate it.
You got let me if you share my stuff and I get to see it, you know what I'm saying? Like, you tag me so I can see that you shared it. That's huge to me. Like, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Because I know I get on Erica Campbell nerves. The Atkins, I used to stay one of their cousins way back in the day, so we've already had our Mary gush But I love Erica Campbell because she, to me, I used to say she's a gospel Beyonce, but she's like superseded that. She's just dope on her own.
She's
amazing. Blazed the trail for gospel artists, solo, and how you can be in a group and still be successful on your own, but not take away from the group. Her and Tina they do it well. And Tina wants to get throw her head in the ring when she wants to do it. It's great.
Tina wants her little annual gig, and then she's going home.
I'm here for that. They got that love song, her and
yeah, I love it. I love it.
It's beautiful.
I love it. But you're right. I was thinking about Erica today, and just thinking about the kind of music that she makes. You know, even just Mary in general. When you really think of their hits, like, you know, I'm a B-side track girl, so I know all their music on every album. When you think about their hits, like God and Me, and, you know, even just going back to Shackles and Heaven, and then Erica comes out with I Love God. Like, who's doing trap music and God? Who's doing that? Nobody's doing. I just think that's the coolest thing. She just took so many risks. She took so many risks, like because that, like you said, the gospel Beyonce. Because I was talking to someone the other day about Beyonce and how Beyonce pretty much jumps on whatever trend it is, like whatever sound people like, she's gonna create a song with that sound. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes she's the creator of a sound or experimenting with stuff, because like if you look at the 4 album, that was completely different for her. It was more of a Eurocentric kind of. It wasn't the heavy bass and drums and R&B that we were used to from Dangerously in Love, right?
Yeah, but I feel like she studies world music. I feel like she studies world music, and then she's like, okay, actually, that's what they're doing over there. I want to bring that over here. You know what I'm saying? And I guess what I'm saying is Erica does the same thing. Like, she doesn't just kind of stick to a format of what people think.
Go for it. Why not?
Yeah.
And then again, there's Warren Campbell. I'm a big Warren Campbell fan.
To be honest with you, I might be a bigger Warren Campbell fan than I am a Mary fan, because Warren is
just Brandy. Like, just the fact that he's had a stake in some of my favorite songs, like he is like, that's all Brandy fans. Full Moon is very special to a blueprint of what runs are today for people.
So for me, Full Moon, and I feel like the Incredible album from Mary is not spoken about enough.
I mean, it was hit after hit, and all
the songs literally never stopped. Like, it was just like literally he just ran the whole album together.
Amazing, all of it.
It did.
But,
the Incredible album and the sound, to me, were just the best.
That sound, though, partners, you can't have that without having Dawkins, and you know, like those sounds, like they were taken, and then you go back, okay, Dawkins, then you go to Commissioned,
and
like,
the Whining,
doing stuff, and more so BB and CC,
yeah,
because it was like a contemporary where they didn't always say Jesus. It was different, you know. It was like, oh, this love song, it could be about Jesus, or it could be about somebody I'm in love with.
I wasn't raised in church, so I definitely thought I wasn't raised listening to gospel music, so I definitely thought BB and CC were married and they were just singing the love song.
I thought that when I was little. I was like, they're married, and I was like, oh wait, no, that's brother and sister.
Right. Yeah, no, you're right. And I feel like even the Winans, they have the new Jack Swing songs. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could tell the exact era that those things were made in. Yeah.
It was different. And then Marvin, my God, vocal great. Still got it.
Jeesh. Well, like I said, this was an amazing conversation. Thank you guys. I'm going to call you after this, by the way. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and listening. I hope you guys got a lot of nuggets and wisdom, and just kind of start thinking about the things that we said and how you want to move forward as an artist. So thank you again, Jeremy, and we'll talk.
Sign up for the program, y'all. Sign up for the program.
Oh, yes. Call to action. Sign up for my program. Love y'all. Bye. Good night.